How's it gaming? I'm Fill in the Blanks, and you all voted for it last year. This is Final Fantasy. The very first Final Fantasy, but not the very first version of Final Fantasy. This is the PSP 20th anniversary version of Final Fantasy, and is my personal favorite way of playing Final Fantasy for lots of different reasons, lots of extra stuff, way better graphics, great sound, we'll get into that, and a lot of the other differences of the variations of Final Fantasy. But let's just jump in there, select our party, talk about how that works as well. If you've never played the original Final Fantasy, and maybe you've only played some of the later ones, you might be surprised to learn that instead of having an established named party, you get a blank slate of 4 characters, each with their own class or job depending on what version of the game you're playing. There are 6 jobs in total. There's the warrior or fighter, thief, the monk or black belt, red mage, white mage, and black mage. And you can have a combination of anything you want. In fact, you can have literally 4 of the same class if that's how you want to go about it. Play through the game as many times or in any way that you want. I played through Final Fantasy 1 so many ways in so many different versions of the game that it's just fun to play around. But let's see who we'll be using and what the differences between all the characters are. So the first up, the warrior or fighter, is the tank. It's the offensive, tanky character, can use pretty much all the equipment in the game. It's arguably the best character in the entire game, but it is expensive to upkeep a warrior. They require a lot of money for their armor and their weapons. Later in the game, it's not that big a deal because you start finding a lot of things, but the warrior is just, it's the best class in the game. If you want an easy way through the game, pick 2 fighters, a black mage and a white mage, or maybe even 2 fighters, a red mage and a black mage, and you'll be golden through it. The problem is you'll be grinding a lot for money, but the warrior is incredible and can learn white magic later on during the kind of class upgrades. We are going to be using a warrior for this playthrough. Next up is, we're just going to say the monk. The monk is the black belt in the original version of the game. It's all martial arts based, and as an exact opposite of the fighter, does not take like any money at all. It doesn't need to equip a bunch of stuff. It can use its fists in battle and be just as strong as a warrior with one of the ultimate weapons in the game. The only problem, though, with the black belt is it has very, very bad defense, and during the class upgrades gets no changes, no upgrades, no nothing. So it's kind of bare bones, but it is also a fun way to play the game. Then up at the last of our martial classes, we have the thief. Now, the thief is good at running away. That is it. It is the worst class in the game, easily, especially in the original NES version, where the way the game calculates how you run away was bugged. So the thief was even worse than that. So yeah, it's not a great character. It can't steal. Like, oh, well, it's a thief. Why can't it steal? Just wasn't in the games back then. That's not how Final Fantasy 1 worked. There was no stealing. And yeah, later on it does learn some black magic after it gets the class upgrades, which makes him a lot better. He's actually really, really good after the class upgrades. But because I've never used him before, we are using a thief. I just want to see what it was like. And next up, we have the Red Mage, the jack of all trades, master of none, has pretty good attack power, can equip a lot of the weapons and armor, and can cast black magic and white magic. Now, the problem with that is at the end of the game, he can't equip the best stuff. He can't use the best white magic, and he can't use the best black magic. And in some versions of the games, his attack power is kind of nerfed a little bit, and ends up just being not that great. In some versions of the game, he's great. He lasts until the end of the game just doing really good stuff. He's a good supplementary white mage, more than a black mage, because he can use a lot of the good white magic stuff. I like using him in my party anyways, just for fun, because first of all, that is the greatest outfit anyone could ever hope for. Look at that hat. But just, I don't know, I like having a jack of all trades type character, but we will not be using one this playthrough. Up next, the white mage, obviously the healer of the party, and unlike most of the time with white mages in later Final Fantasy games, this white mage is actually able to use their holy magic offensively against undead. And now you can do that in later Final Fantasy games, but for a while there was a gap where the healer was just the healer and that was it, nothing else. But yeah, the white mage is quite offensively powerful against undead, and there is a lot of undead in this game, making the white mage actually a great class, other than just the healing, of course. And last up, the black mage uses black magic, elemental abilities, and just offensive magic. It's great, but The Black Mage has absolutely terrible attack, of course, and defense, which means he's a little fragile glass cannon, so you gotta be really careful with one. We do want one. We want one in the back row. We'll talk about rows in a minute. Let us name our characters. Now what's fun is you can press select, and it'll auto-name the characters a bunch of different names that are referencing characters throughout the series. Remember, this is the 20th anniversary version of Final Fantasy 1, so by this point, there's a lot of characters and a lot of references that can be used for these characters. But in the original Final Fantasy, you had to make up a name, and you'd only have up to 4 characters. This, you can have up to 7. And let's name them right now. I know this is taking a while to get into this, but Final Fantasy 1 takes some time to get into. It's just the way it is. We're going to be naming our characters what my party is in my D&D campaign that I am DMing, just for fun. I just thought it was fun that almost the classes they chose, and that is almost what we're playing as. So first up, we got our human fighter, or human, yeah, fighter in D&D. His name is Solomon. Now that won't fit, unfortunately. So we'll go with, actually we gotta get rid of Leo there. S. Solomon. Doesn't look that great. It looks like salmon. Oh, he's only 6? There's only 6. I thought it was 7 characters. Whatever. There we go. Solomon, our warrior. Up next, we have, my wife, Kate, is playing a rogue. Now, I was debating using her name for the thief or the black mage because she's playing an arcane trickster. But we're gonna go with the rogue. And that is, her name is Kira. She's playing a drow rogue arcane trickster and is named after our cat, Kira. There we go. Next up, our cleric. High elf, I think. Name is Zara. And last up, now if I used a monk, we would have been able to use a monk. So my buddy is doing a human monk. So unfortunately it has to be stuck onto the black mage because we're not using a monk. The name is Devro, which will not fit, but that's okay. The party calls him Dev anyways. So Dev, there we go. There's our party. Let's just jump into Final Fantasy 1, the little opening prequel. That's not really in the original game, kind of, but done better in this. The world lies shrouded in darkness. The winds die. The seas rage. The earth decays. But the people believe in a prophecy, patiently awaiting its fulfillment. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. After a long journey, 4 young travelers did at last appear. And in the hand of each was clutched a crystal. Yay! Final Fantasy 1. Boom. And we are plopped right outside of the original the first town, not original, just the first town, Coneria, or Cornelia in this version. Now, again, this game has come out so many times. There was a lot of different names for a lot of this stuff. Let's check out our party. There they are. Solomon, Kira, Zara, and Dev. So yeah, I like how you make your own party. You know, you choose the class that they take, you choose their name, so it feels a little bit more intimate, like they're your characters. You can give them backstories if you want, doesn't really matter. It's not like other Final Fantasy games where, like, later on they're all established characters with personality, where Final Fantasy VII had Cloud, and Final Fantasy VIII had Squall, and Final Fantasy XVI had Joyce DeWitt. In this one, it's your party. I just really like that. Let's just walk around, talk to people. This is Cornelia, the city of dreams. Well, that's nice. Very cool. Hi there, I'm a dancer. What's that? You want to dance with me? No, I'm good. I'm fine. We have a little bit of money. We have 500 gil, it looks like. So you need to get out of my way, lady. You're right in the way, thank you. We can buy some stuff, let's do that right now. And first of all, we'll want a rapier for both Solomon and Kira. Only 8 gil, really does not cost a whole lot. Looks like we can get a hammer for Zara as well. You could get a knife for... Oh, he already got one. In the original game, you start off, I believe, nothing, so a knife would be good for your black mage, but you're not going to tackle your black mage, so don't worry about it. Restore the crystals to grace. Alright, you say so. They all start with clothes. Well, let's get the chainmail for Solomon and some leather armor for Kira there. Let's jump in there, equipment. You just go optimal. Right now, that's fine. Later on, you don't want to do that, but it's good for now. So there we go. Oh, there we go. We're all nice and geared up, but we still have some money left. So, oh please, you must rescue the princess. I didn't know she was captured, but okay. Let's go into the black magic hut and get some black magic. What do we want? What do we want? Let's get fire. Fire is always good. Not for you. No, for Dev. Fire and thunder. Let's get focus, which is lowers one foe's evasion. Sleep. It's all foes. Yeah, let's get sleep. And we have almost enough for... Actually, no, we have more than enough for what we need to get white magic. We have enough to outfit our entire roster, which is great. Obviously, we want cure. Dia, is it Dia or Dia? I actually don't know. But that is an offensive holy move against undead foes. We definitely want that. Protect and blink. Allies defense or ally caster's evasion. Oh, just the caster? No. If it was any allies evasion, blink would be really good, but we're going to get protect. Don't even really need it. I just always like to have 3 magic spells per character when they can use magic. There are 4 spells per level of white and black, basically. Those were level 1 magic spells. So there's 4 white ones and 4 black ones, and each character can only have 3 of each level, so you gotta choose wisely. Sage Lucan said something about finding the crescent moon. Then he just up and left town. The crescent moon, I'll have to remember that. For later. The king truly believes in Lucan's prophecy, that the Warriors of Light will come to save the princess. Well, baby, I think you're seeing the Warriors of Light right in front of you. You need to get out of the way, though. Let me cross that bridge. That's a problem in the original NES version of the game, too, by the way, just being able to cross bridges sometimes. And not run. Oh, there we go. This is just a church. Yeah, if anyone dies, you need to bring them to a church to get resurrected. It's very frustrating. Please rescue Lady Sarah. Is she the princess? Because I know she needs rescuing, too. I once lived to the east of here in the harbor town of Provoca. These days I hear it's turned into a pirate's den. In here is an item shop. We don't need items right now. In the original game, you could just leave the town, but in this version of the game, there are guards in all 3 exits to kind of force a little bit of story on you. The king is searching for the prophesied Warriors of Light. Those crystals, you must see the king at once. All right, let's go do it. And you get warped to the castle. Welcome, travelers. I am told you carry crystals. Is this true? You're like, yep, each of us have one. Woo! It's just as Lucan's prophecy foretold. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. Your Majesty, we cannot be certain that these are the warriors foretold by the prophecy. Shut up, bitch. Yet they stand before us with the crystals. I cannot dismiss this as mere coincidence. I mean, if everyone in town knows the prophecy, then any schmutz could come up and be like, I have a crystal, hello. Crystal bearers, there is a task I would ask of you. Will you not rescue my daughter, Sarah? I won't not rescue your Princess Sarah. Garland, a knight once in His Majesty's service, has abducted Princess Sarah. I ask for your aid in the name of His Majesty the King of Cornelia. Garland has taken refuge in the Chaos Shrine, which lies to our north. Of course, we did attempt to save the princess ourselves, but Garland is the finest swordsman in the kingdom. We have none who can match him. Say yes, no, there was just a pause there. I have heard that you wish to journey to the continent to our north. The bridge leading north was lost long ago, making passage impossible. If you can rescue Sarah, I will have the bridge rebuilt as a sign of my gratitude. Go now, warriors of light, and do not fail me. Alright, let's go. The dancing girl in town knows many odd bits of information. Really? I didn't know that. If you stray from your path, try talking to her. She may know something that can put you back on course. I did not know that. Cool, okay. Well, is there anything at the bottom here? I don't know. Oh, a little bit. Lots to explore. Our reports say that Garland fled north with the princess to the Chaos Shrine. Yes, I know that too. There's no one here. Up we go. And the castle itself is actually its own little thing. Well, we have time to talk to people, I guess. The king is searching for the prophesied words of light. Those crystals, could it be? It could, and it is. Garland was once the greatest knight in the kingdom, but power consumed him and he lost sight of who he really was. That sucks. Please save Lady Sarah. Okay. I mean, you all seem to want it, so. Her Majesty is overcome with grief. She shut herself inside her chambers. Please try not to upset her. I am Jane, Queen of Cornelia. Please bring my daughter, my Sarah, back to me safely. Aww. I think in the original game, too, there was an invisible person around here somewhere. It was a person that was in the game, and you could talk to them, but they didn't have a graphic, so they were just invisible. Kind of funny. Oh, you're the sister, aren't you? My sister, I want my sister. I don't even know if you have a name. Sarah, Jane, King. Whoops. And I think, is there anything over here? Oh. I thought there was. You can go around and stuff like that. Maybe you can down here? There we go. We can go around this wall over here. Secrets already. I mean, not really, but... Oh, is there really no one to talk to? Oh, down here. Our ancestors sealed weapons within this treasure house 400 years ago. They then gave the key to the Elf King to hold until the coming of the Warriors of Light. Okay, can I have the keys and get that stuff, please? It's locked. Treasure house has been bound by the Mystic Key. Oh, please, you must rescue the princess. I'd like to, but some weapons from this Mystic Key place would be really nice. Anyways, let's just leave. We are ready. We now know our journey. And yeah, so you see there's a town, there's also the castle. Two different things. Let's walk around. See what the fighting is like. When you walk around, you can get to random battles, of course. Right now, there's pretty much just wolves and goblins. We just attack. It's a pretty simple game. I mean, this is a very old game. This is 1988, 1990 in North America. But it was very revolutionary for its time, for a lot of little things. First of all, Dragon Quest was like the big deal back then. And what was funny about Dragon Quest was that you had one party member, and the whole quest was save the princess. So Final Fantasy is like, well, we're gonna have 4 playable characters, and the first quest in the game that is like the prologue will be save the princess, and it'll just show everyone how much bigger this game is than Dragon Quest, and it worked. This was such a leap forward, in my opinion. Now, the funny part is it was programmed with, I don't know, friggin' bubblegum, because it barely held together. There are so many bugs and problems with the original Final Fantasy game. Things like weapons doing elemental damage or damage against certain things, like a Dragon Slayer sword being strong against a dragon, didn't exist. It didn't work properly. Things like evasion didn't work properly. A lot of the spells you would cast didn't work properly. It was ridiculous. Actually, speaking of magic, let's use some magic. Let's use fire. Just see what it looks like. Look at this little casting animation for our Black Mage there. Go Dev. Use fire. No, not on that one. That was a nice clear view of the spell. There we go. Oh, that's good. In the original game, all your spells would just look like clouds exploding. Like in old school Looney Tunes, like when they all get together and the cloud goes and you have little arms coming out and they're punching each other. That's what it looked like. Speaking of which, oh, gotta level up. Nice HP. Oh, that's a huge HP increase. Oh my gosh. Oh no! Death with your HP by 1, but MP by 18. Yeah, we are going to be looking at other versions of the game as we play. At the end of each episode, at the beginning anyways, because this won't last forever, we will look at one of the other versions for like 5 minutes just to check it out. So episodes are going to be about 30 minutes long, except for today, for example, will be 25. That's Thunder. And we'll then cut the episode and then go to another version of Final Fantasy. Once we've seen enough, like 3 or 4 of them, we'll stop doing that, but I'm a big fan of seeing where games come from and how they've changed. Actually, let's oh, we don't have enough MP. I like seeing where they come from and kind of how they evolved, especially with remakes, and FF1 has so many remakes that it's really fun to see the differences. One of the differences that you will see in Final Fantasy 1 for the NES, and pretty much every other Final Fantasy version of Final Fantasy 1, is that instead of having MP, like right now, Zera has 10 MP, in the original game you had spell slots, just like in Dungeons & Dragons. And boy howdy, is this game incredibly inspired by, big air quotes, pretty much ripped off of Dungeons & Dragons. It's crazy. Let's use Cure just to see what it looks like. And you can't even cast anything right now. But yeah, you had spell slots. So you had level 1 spell slots, level 2, all the way to, I believe, level 8. There's Cure, looks pretty. And it was pretty cool. It meant that you could cast a bunch of curing magic without having to waste like higher level spells like Faraga or Nuke or something like that. It's pretty neat. But in this one, it is straight up old school MP, and that means we have the ability to cast a lot more magic. In the original game, you had, I think, like 2 spell slots for the white magic and black magic at the beginning of the game, and it was like nothing. Let's check out, what's this cost? Listen, I want to see Dia. Yeah, Dia is always a full multi-target spell. Always looks really cool. These guys are not undead, so we won't be able to see what it won't do any damage, but it looks neat. Looks cute. 0 all across the board. But yeah, no. This version of the game is also way easier than the original version of the game. I played through the original version of the game on my original cartridge, and it's not easy. It's not extraordinarily hard if you know what you're doing, but it's not easy. The big problem is it takes forever. It's such a slog of a game. Let's go heal up at the inn. We'll make our way. Oh, there's a little tutorial guys. Let's talk to them, I guess. I would be most happy to teach you about... Nah, you know what? Never mind. You'll learn from me. I know everything. In the original game, I think you only had 200 gold, or at least in the original game it was called gold, sorry, to outfit your party. And this one you have 500 gil, which is what currency became known in Final Fantasy later on, which is enough to outfit your entire party. In the original game, you're just like, no, fight a bunch of things naked, then hope you won't die. But there we go, we are charged up, powered up, we're level 2, you can beat the first boss Garland at level 1, but level 2 makes it a little bit safer. Let's make our way to the north, and there we can see the bridge has been collapsed. We'll make some fights along the way. Really, just more goblins, huh? Wow, 25 MP and 28 MP already for our mages. That's insane. You can cast so much magic. That's a big problem with the original versions of the game, though, is that mages were good, but you had so little use for them if they, wasted their magic. And some of these dungeons can go pretty long. Well, that's a waste of a... We gotta level up, but we don't gain any of that MP or HP we just got. Whatever. And if you have played... Ooh, ambushed by a crazy horse. 7. Okay. Thankfully, our warrior Solomon is super tanky at this part of the game. Yeah, 13 from Dev. The way the rows work, by the way, is that at least I think this is how it works. The person in the first row will get 50% of attacks aimed at them. The next person, so Kira in this example, with 25%, and then Zara and Dev will both get 12%, 12.5%. I believe that's how it works. Correct me if I'm wrong. Whoops, that's not what I want to cure. It's okay, we have plenty of pages. If you've ever played Final Fantasy 1, you'll notice that this is a brand new cave. It's not in the original game. Earth Gift Shrine. Well, I don't think there's anything here we can do, except for talk to this dwarf guy. This is the Earth Gift Shrine. Long ago you could enter, but the way has been shut since the land began to decay. They got Scottish accents, I can't do it. I won't be doing that. And then you have this really cool looking thing. The putrid stench of decaying earth hangs heavy in the air. Wow, you look dangerous. Well, this is basically, I wouldn't say post-game content because you can do this within a playthrough, but this is extra content that was brought from the Game Boy Advance version of the game and then brought over to the PSP version of the game. The PSP version has a lot of extra stuff, and we will be going through it, but not as thoroughly as you might enjoy. A lot of it is repetition, but we won't even have to talk about that for many, many, many episodes, so we won't deal with that right now. We're just continuing north to the Shrine of Chaos, the Chaos Shrine. Here it is, it's right here. And we're just going to save right outside, and we'll continue this next time. But first, let's take a look at the original NES Final Fantasy. This is the original NES version of Final Fantasy. The world is veiled in darkness, the wind stops, the sea is wild, and the earth begins to rot. The people wait, their only hope, prophecy. When the world is in darkness, 4 warriors will come. After a long journey, 4 young warriors arrive, each holding an orb. In capital letters. It was orbs back then, not crystals. And yeah, this is what this game would look like. Fighter, thief, blah belt, mage, blah mage, red mage. And then you could just name them. And the most common name was for everyone. But there we go. And there's Corneria in this version of the game. Corneria? Coneria, their dream city. But yeah, let's actually check out to see how much money we have. So, oh, we start with 400 gold. My mistake. That's enough for some spellage. Let's just jump in there and get some spells. I just want to see it. It's because it looks funny. But this is the original Final Fantasy, released on the NES. No, you can't learn that. There we go. Oh, this is the white magic spell. Harm, Fog, Ruse. Oh, the names are so weird. But one of the things, I didn't mention that when we were playing the PSP version, is when you're in... Oh, wow, it costs 100 gold for one. When you attack an enemy and it dies, in the PSP version, your characters will retarget a different enemy. Because, you know, they don't want to be whiffing at nothing, right? Because that'd be stupid. In this version of the game, if you all attack one enemy and an enemy dies, you guys are all going to attack thin air. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to fight, and then our red mage, is going to use fire on this guy here. Just so we can see what the animations look like. Oh, here's fire! Pop, 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 pop. 18 damage. Terminated. It goes slow. I can't move the speed here. Now, mind you, at the beginning of the game on the title screen, you can change how fast this goes. I should have done that, because this is how slow the game is on the regular speed. Like, you barely had backgrounds for the battles. Everyone was in these weird little boxes. It's just really, really funny how slow it was. But, like, this was really crazy good. The idea of a Dungeons and Dragons RPG was unheard of. I mean, they had done it for video games. There was Sorcery Wizardry, Sorcerian, Ultima. But for the Japanese, it was Dragon Quest and then this. It was pretty neat. But yeah, I wouldn't say I grew up with this, but I did play this when I was a kid. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. But then I ended up liking it a lot as I grew up, and Final Fantasy 1 is one of my favorite Final Fantasies to play through. Specifically, the later versions, not this version. Because it's just quick and easy to get through, and it's fun, and it's just fun. Then we get a little victory. Awesome! So that is NES Final Fantasy. We'll be covering more of these different versions of Final Fantasy as we keep going. Guys, we're playing Final Fantasy 1, the original Final Fantasy. I am very excited. I hope you are too. And next time we will jump into that Chaos Shrine. We won't have a crazy discussion about the classes and stuff that took us 8 minutes to get to the actual damn game. We'll actually jump in there and really get our adventure going. With that, I'm Fill in the Blanks. See you next level. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to know when the next episode is up. If you want to support my channel, share some videos with some friends and consider supporting me on Patreon.